Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about transit Sun, sextile, or trine one's natal Pluto. Now, this transit may manifest in creativity, one's life, action, drive, motivation, focus, and attention. This could be in harmony with having power and control. This is the time where you may feel you have better control over your own life at this time, more so than usual. If the transit Sun is in Capricorn, say it could be something with life connected with business, your career ambitions. It can be life that you want very structured. It can also be a time too where you have more ability to take action on having certain power and control. And it can be, if you have your natal Pluto, say it's in the 5th house, it could be in matters with children and lovers. If it's in the 7th house, natal Pluto's in the 7th house, it could be over a marriage partner, or maybe it's an open adversary or a legal opponent, as some examples. And it's also about having more of the drive, the focus, the motivation at this time to transform, and especially you may have more of an opportunity to transform your life at this time. Now the transit only lasts about 5 days, but at the same time this is still a good opportunity to do so. Whether you're watching it could be getting like listening to a motivational guru, listening to some video, how to empower yourself in your life and make a major change in it. And this could be that time where you have a very good opportunity to do so. And it's also a good chance, I would say, to take action in a crisis-related matter if you have to at this point in time. Remember that Sun is about action. Pluto can be connected with crisis and upheavals, and it's a time where you have that courage and that drive in order to do so. If there's say if you have your natal Pluto in the 8th house, the crisis may be connected. Could be with insurance or tax related matter, or even an emergency situation. On the spot, if something were to happen, you've got to perform like CPR on somebody, as an example. This is the time where you have a better chance of actually doing something positive and being able to do something to that person's benefit that's in that situation, as an example. And the fact is, the Sun is about our creativity, and Pluto again is connected with transformation. This could be a time where, for people that do like sculpting, or they create something out of something that was recycled, or even rebuilding a vehicle, it can be a time where you can have a better chance of being able to be creative, being able to create something and do something that's transforming in the process, where you're being creative and transforming all at once. This is the time, very good opportunity to do this at this point in time when you have this transit. Now, Pluto, anatomically speaking, is connected with the colon, the prostate, the bladder, and the reproductive system. So if you're having any problems that are anatomically connected with Pluto, what I just described that's associated with Pluto anatomically, this is a chance now where you have a good chance to take action in these matters, to put your focus and attention on these things with little diversions or distractions. And this is the time where you actually can have a better chance of actually doing that at this time. And it could be a time, or say like if you're say you're in a position at work where you're a subordinate or subservient role, and you're talking to a superior or supervisor about getting time off to take care of one of these things. This is a time where you have a better chance of actually doing so. And the thing about it too is, keep in mind the Sun can be connected with the biological father and children. So this is a time where you would have more control, I'd say, over the relationship with these people. And if you're doing anything where you're trying to make major change or transformation in your life somehow, this is the time where they may be more in favor of it. If you're having a certain desire or passion for something, this is where you would likely get more favor from these people at this time, more so than usual. So anyway, now Pluto is also connected with trauma. If you have, there's certain situation you're dealing with where you're experiencing, say, physical or emotional trauma, this is the time where you can get, that more, I would say, that more sort of support. It can be from, dominant males in your life, and again, the biological father or children. This is the time where you have a better opportunity to get that support, and they'll be there, more likely be there for you. And of course, children, if applicable, if you actually do have any, of course. And also too, say if you have, your natal Pluto is in, if it's in, say, Scorpio, it can be some, physical trauma. Even though it's generational, it can be some physical trauma with the colon, bladder, prostate, reproductive system. If it's in Sagittarius, it might be something with the liver or the thighs, or some sciatic nerve or hips. And especially if you have your natal Pluto in the first or sixth house, because the first house, of course, is associated with the physical body, and the sixth house is connected with physical health related issues. Now, Pluto is also associated with death. So if you are dealing with a death, if somebody has died recently, this is and even something where you're thinking about, somebody that had died, some time ago, years ago, and if you're still, you're in that mourning stage, this is the time where you can get, again, that more of that support, from a biological father, from a child, if applicable. And it's time to where you can really, just be able, to just have better chance of dealing with it, because of that at this time. And the thing about this too is, Pluto is also connected with surgery. So if there's a surgery to actually, be done at this time, there's a better chance of taking action at this time, having the drive and motivation to do so. I mean, when you have a surgery, I would say it's not about, a lot of drive or motivation. Most people are reluctant to have a surgery, but there would be a little bit more so at this time than usual to get up and go, to get the courage to get this done. And Pluto is also connected with obsession and fixation. So, this is a time too where you have it, I would say you could keep that more under control in your life, where you can actually, have a strong desire and passion for doing something in your life without necessarily being overly fixated or obsessed with it. Or if you're dealing with some issues with obsession or fixation in some aspect of your life, it's more of a time and opportunity to put your focus and attention on it. Also too, Pluto is connected with support, whether it be emotional, moral, or monetary. So again, going back again to the biological father and children, these people will be more apt to be there to give you that support at this time, whether it's monetary or it's moral or emotional support. At this point in time, there's a better chance of having them around for that. Pluto is also connected with shared resources. So it's a time too where, you could put, again, have the energy, the vitality to be able to do things that are connected with the shared resources situation. It's a time too, where you have, dealing with, it's more of a chance to put your focus and your attention on it at this time, more so than usual. And going back to Pluto being connected with passion and desire, this is the time where you have more of a passion, desire for life. It's a good, because you're having a good relationship between the Sun and Pluto, and having have a good passion, desire for your life without being overly obsessed or fixated with it at this time. If the transit Sun is in Aquarius, say, it might be something, associated in life, associated with your friendships, with goals or aspirations, or expressing altruism or humanitarianism at this time. And Pluto is also about secrets. So it's a time too where you can, if you have some kind of, secret, and you don't want it unveiled, it's a time now where you can hone in on it, focus on it, and what do you want to do to just keep it, under wraps, or you might be making a decision whether you don't have to keep it a secret so much now at this point in time. Hold on a moment, people. And Pluto is also connected with rebirth and regeneration, so it can be a time where if you're trying to resurrect something at this point in time, it's more having the motivation, the focus, putting the attention on it at this point in time with little or no diversions or distractions at this point in time. If you have your natal Pluto in the 8th house, maybe it's some kind of taxes or it could be insurance kind of business or something with the occult, which includes astrology as some examples. Now, at this time, another way this transit may manifest, it could be a time where the biological father and children, which is the sun, may favor what you have a passion and desire for, which is Pluto. If Pluto, say, is in Virgo in the 5th house in your natal chart, it could be just simply extrapolating, which is Virgo. It could be sports data. The 5th house is sports. You also might have the right amount of ambition, the right amount, of energy, which is the sun, for making a major change or transformation, which is Pluto. Let's say, for example, if the natal Pluto is in Libra in the 1st house, it could be having transforming the physical body, making yourself more physically attractive, which is Libra. And of course, the 1st house is the physical body and also the appearance as well. Now, it also can be auspicious for taking action, which is the sun, in a crisis, which is Pluto's situation. Let's say, for example, if the natal Pluto is in Scorpio in the 6th house, it could be a crisis, which is Pluto associated. Let's say if Pluto is in Virgo in the 6th house as an example. Natal Pluto in Virgo in the 6th house, it could be a crisis, which is Pluto associated with the spleen, the intestines, the pancreas, which is Virgo, and of course the 6th house is health related. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.